The rain hit the pavement hard the night she came back. Amara didn't hesitate as she pushed open the gate, her grip tight around the hands of the two little boys beside her. They looked up at her, confused, but she didn't slow down. Not now, not after everything. "Stay close," she whispered. The house stood exactly the same, tall, quiet, untouched by the storm that had destroyed her life years ago. Light glowed faintly from the living room window. She stepped forward and knocked, once, twice. The door opened. Tunde stood there. For a moment, he didn't recognize her. Then his eyes widened, scanning her face, her posture, then dropping to the children. The silence stretched. "Amara," his voice cracked. One of the boys tilted his head. "Mummy, who is that?" Amara didn't take her eyes off Tunde. "That," she said quietly, "is your father." Tunde staggered back as if struck. "What?" he whispered. No, that's not possible." The second boy stepped forward, curious, studying Tunde's face. "He looks like us." Amara let out a slow breath. "Yes, he does." Tunde shook his head, panic rising. You said they weren't mine. You—" He stopped himself, his voice breaking. "Why are you here?" Amara's expression hardened. "We need to talk." And just like that, the past came rushing back, 5 years earlier. The house had once been filled with laughter. "Stop it!" Amara laughed as Tunde chased her around the kitchen. "You're going to make me drop this." "Then drop it," he teased, "and come here." She shook her head, smiling, her eyes bright with a happiness she had once believed would last forever. "You're impossible. And you love it." "I do." He wrapped his arms around her from behind, resting his chin on her shoulder. "One day this house will be full," he murmured. "Kids running everywhere, noise, chaos." Amara's smile softened. "I can't wait." But time had not been kind. Months passed, then years. No children came. At first they laughed it off. "Maybe we're too busy," Tunde said one evening. "Or maybe," Amara replied, forcing a smile, "we're just meant to enjoy each other first." But the silence in the house grew louder, and so did the pressure. "Are you sure everything is okay?" Tunde's mother asked one afternoon, her tone careful but pointed. Amara nodded politely. "We're trying." "Trying," the older woman repeated, her lips tightening slightly. "Well, don't take too long." That was the beginning. Soon the comments became whispers, the whispers became tension, and the tension slowly crept into their marriage. Then one morning, everything changed. "Tunde!" Amara called, her voice trembling with excitement. "Tunde, come here!" He rushed into the room, alarmed. "What happened?" She held out the test with shaking hands. "I'm pregnant." For a second, he just stared. Then his face lit up. "Are you serious?" he asked, grabbing her shoulders. She nodded, tears in her eyes. "We're finally going to have a baby." He pulled her into a tight embrace. "Thank God." For a while, it felt like the darkness had lifted, but it didn't last, because not everyone was happy. "Are you sure?" his sister asked quietly one evening. Tunde frowned. "What do you mean?" She hesitated. "I mean, after all these years, suddenly she's pregnant." He stiffened. "What are you trying to say?" "I'm just saying," she continued, lowering her voice, "you should be careful. Not everything is as it seems." Tunde shook his head. "Amara would never." "Would she?" she cut in. "Do you even know where she goes every day?" That question lingered longer than it should have. At first, Tunde ignored it, but then little things started to bother him. Late evenings, missed calls, moments where Amara seemed distant, distracted. And then came the message. He found it on her phone one night. "I can't wait to see you again." His heart stopped. When Amara walked into the room, she immediately sensed something was wrong. "What is it?" she asked. Tunde held up the phone. "Who is this?" Her brow furrowed. "What?" Don't pretend, he snapped. Who sent this message? She took the phone, confusion turning into shock. I don't know. This number. Stop lying, he shouted. I'm not lying, she cried. I've never seen this before. Then how did it get here? He demanded. I don't know, she said, her voice breaking. Tunde, please, you have to believe me. But doubt had already taken root, and doubt once planted grows fast. You expect me to believe this? He said coldly. After everything. What do you mean, after everything? She asked, hurt flashing across her face. He laughed bitterly. After years of nothing, suddenly you're pregnant and now this. Her eyes widened. You think I cheated on you? I don't know what to think anymore. That night, something inside their marriage cracked, and it didn't stop there. Days turned into arguments, arguments turned into silence, silence turned into resentment. Amara tried to hold on. Tunde, please, she said one night, Sainty.
Standing in front of him. Talk to me. There's nothing to say, he replied flatly. There's everything to say, she insisted. You're shutting me out. Maybe because I don't recognize the person standing in front of me anymore, he said. Her breath caught. How can you say that? Because I don't know if I can trust you. Those words cut deeper than anything else. And still, the worst was yet to come. If you're already feeling the tension building, just wait. This is where everything starts to fall apart. Make sure you stay till the end, because the truth behind what really happened will change everything. The air in the house grew heavier with each passing day, like something invisible was suffocating them both. Amara stood in the middle of the living room, her hands trembling. Tunde, we can't keep living like this. He didn't look at her. He sat on the couch, scrolling through his phone, his jaw tight. I'm talking to you, she said, her voice cracking. And I heard you, he replied coldly. I just don't have anything to say. Her chest tightened. You don't have anything to say? I'm your wife. He laughed bitterly. Are you? The words hit her like a slap. What is that supposed to mean? She whispered. He finally looked up, his eyes filled with something she had never seen before. Distance. Amara shook her head, tears spilling down her face. I'm the same woman you married, the same woman who has been by your side through everything. Through everything? He repeated. Or through your lies? I didn't lie, I shouted. How many times do I have to say it? Until it makes sense, he snapped. Until the story stops changing. My story has never changed, I cried. You're the one refusing to listen.
Silence fell between them, thick and suffocating. Then came the knock. 3 sharp knocks at the door. Tunde stood up, annoyed. Who is that now? Amara wiped her tears quickly as he walked to the door and pulled it open. It was his sister. And behind her, his mother. They walked in without waiting for an invitation. What's going on here? His mother asked, her eyes scanning the room, then settling on Amara's tear-stained face. Nothing, Tunde muttered. Nothing, his sister scoffed. We can hear you from outside. Amara straightened slightly. This is between me and my husband. His mother stepped closer, her voice calm but sharp. It became our business the moment you brought shame into this family. Amara froze. Shame? Yes, the older woman said. Do you think we're blind? Tunde, Amara said, turning to him desperately. Please, tell them. Tell them what? His sister cut in. That you've been sneaking around? I have not, Amara shouted. Then explain the message, she pressed. I already did, Amara cried. I don't know who sent it. That's convenient, his mother said. Amara turned to Tunde, her eyes pleading. You believe me, right? He didn't answer immediately. And in that silence, everything broke. Tunde, she whispered. He looked away. That was her answer. Something inside her collapsed. I'm carrying your child, she said softly, her voice shaking. How can you do this to me? His sister laughed bitterly. Are you sure it's his? The room went still. Amara stared at her in disbelief. How dare you? I'm just asking the question everyone is thinking, she replied. No, Amara said, shaking her head. No, this is insane. Tunde, say something. But he didn't. Instead, he walked past her, toward the bedroom.
A few minutes later, he returned with a suitcase. Amara's breath caught. What are you doing? He dropped it in front of her. Pack your things. The words echoed in her ears. What? She whispered. I said, pack your things, he repeated, his voice hard. You can't stay here. Her legs felt weak. You're throwing me out? I won't live with someone I can't trust. Tears streamed down her face. Tunde, please, I have nowhere to go. That's not my problem, he said. Her heart shattered. I'm your wife, she said, her voice breaking. And I'm pregnant. Then go to the man responsible, his sister said coldly. Amara let out a broken sob. There is no other man. Enough, Tunde said sharply. I don't want any more drama. Just leave. She stared at him, searching his face for even a trace of the man she once knew. But he was gone, replaced by someone she didn't recognize. Slowly, her hands moved to the suitcase. Her movements were mechanical, numb. Clothes, shoes, memories. Everything she had built in that house reduced to a few belongings. As she reached the door, she paused. Tunde, she said softly. He didn't respond. She took a deep breath. One day, you're going to realize the truth. He remained silent. And when you do, she continued, her voice steady despite the tears, I hope you can live with yourself. Then she walked out. The door closed behind her. And just like that, she was alone. The rain started that night. Cold. Unforgiving. Amara stood under a bus stop, clutching her small bag, her body trembling. Her phone battery was dead. Her mind raced. Where could she go? Who could she call? Then her knees buckled. Pain shot through her body. She gasped, clutching her stomach. No, not now. Please. But the pain only intensified. A passerby noticed her. Madam, are you okay? I think... She struggled to speak. The baby. Everything blurred after that. Hospital lights, voices, urgency. Stay with us. Push. Again. And then, 2 cries filled the room. Not 1, 2.
Amara's eyes fluttered open weakly. "You're babies," a nurse said gently. "Babies?" she whispered. "Twins." Tears slid down her temples as she looked at them. 2 tiny, fragile lives. And in that moment, something shifted inside her. She wasn't alone anymore. "I've got you," she whispered. "No matter what, I've got you." The years that followed were anything but easy. There were nights she went to bed hungry so they could eat. Days she worked until her body ached. Moments she almost gave up. But every time she looked at them, she found strength. "Mommy, are we going to be okay?" one of them asked one evening. She smiled, even though her heart was heavy. "We already are." Slowly, life began to change. A small job turned into a better one. A better one turned into stability. The boys grew, smart, kind, full of life. And every single day, they reminded him of him.
The same eyes, the same smile, the same stubbornness. It used to hurt, but not anymore, because she had something stronger now. Peace. Until the day everything changed again. She was cleaning when she heard voices outside. Familiar voices. She froze. Then she heard it clearly. Tunde. "And I'm telling you," he said, his tone tense, "something doesn't add up." Her heart started racing. Another voice responded, his sister. "You're still thinking about her?" she asked. "I can't shake it," he admitted. "Those kids, I saw them once, from a distance. They looked—" "Don't start," she cut him off. "You made your decision." "What if I was wrong?" he said quietly. Silence. Amara's grip tightened around the cloth in her hand. This was it. The moment she had waited for. Not for revenge, but for truth. She stepped outside. "Tunde." He turned. And when his eyes met hers, everything changed. The silence between them stretched so tight, it felt like it could snap at any second. Tunde stared at her like he had seen a ghost. His eyes moved from her face to the 2 boys standing just behind her, then back again. "Amara," he said slowly, like he didn't trust his own voice. "What are you doing here?" She didn't answer immediately. She let the moment breathe. Let him look. Let him see. "You said something didn't add up," she replied calmly. "So I'm here to help you understand." His sister stepped forward quickly, her expression sharp. "We don't need anything from you." Amara didn't even look at her. Her eyes stayed locked on Tunde. "This isn't about you." "Everything about this family is about me," the sister snapped. "No," Amara said quietly. "Everything about this family was destroyed because of you." Tunde's brows furrowed. "What is she talking about?" His sister laughed nervously. "She's trying to manipulate you again. Same old tricks." Amara took a step forward. "Look at them, Tunde." He hesitated. Then his gaze dropped to the boys again. They stood side by side, watching him with curiosity. One of them tilted his head slightly, the exact way Tunde used to do when he was thinking. Tunde's breath caught. He started, then stopped. "They look like you," Amara finished. "That doesn't mean anything," his sister said quickly. "Children can resemble anyone." Amara nodded slowly. "You're right. Sometimes they can." She paused. "But not like this." The second boy stepped forward slightly. "Mommy,
Is this the man you were talking about? Amara swallowed, then nodded. Yes. The boy looked at Tunde again. Are you really our dad? The question hit harder than anything else. Tunde staggered back slightly, running a hand through his hair. I don't... You don't what? Amara asked, her voice steady, but firm. You don't know? Or you don't want to know? Stop it, his sister snapped. You're confusing him. No, Amara said sharply. The confusion started years ago. I'm just here to end it. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small envelope. I didn't come empty-handed, she said. Tunde's eyes narrowed. What is that? Proof. His sister's face tightened. You think a piece of paper changes anything? It changes everything, Amara replied. She handed it to Tunde. His hands shook slightly as he opened it. He read the first line, then the second. His face drained of color. This, he whispered. This is a DNA test. Amara nodded. Yes. He looked up at her, his eyes filled with shock. It says... They're yours, she finished. Silence. Heavy. Crushing. Unavoidable. No, his sister said quickly, stepping forward. That could be fake. Anyone can fake something like that. Amara let out a slow breath. I knew you would say that. She pulled out her phone. I also have this. She pressed play. A voice filled the air. His sister's voice. I only did it because I wanted to protect you, the recording said. She wasn't right for you. I had to make you see that. Tunde froze. The world seemed to stop. What is this? He asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Amara's eyes burned. The truth. His sister's face went pale. That's not what it sounds like. Then explain it, Tunde snapped, his voice rising. She stammered. I was just... You were unhappy, and I... You lied to me, he said, his voice shaking. You made me believe my wife cheated on me. I was trying to help you, she cried. By destroying my marriage? He shouted. His mother, who had been silent, finally spoke. We only wanted what was best for you. Tunde turned to her slowly. By throwing my pregnant wife out into the street? No one answered. The weight of it all crashed down at once. He turned back to Amara. His voice broke. I didn't know. Amara's expression didn't change. You didn't want to know. That's not true, he said quickly. It is, she replied. Because I begged you to listen. I begged you to trust me. And you chose not to. Tears filled his eyes. I made a mistake. A mistake? She repeated softly. You didn't forget to call me back, Tunde. You didn't miss an appointment. You threw me out. Pregnant. Alone. He looked down, unable to meet her gaze. I almost lost them that night, she continued, her voice trembling now. Do you know that? Do you know what it feels like to be in pain? On the street? With nowhere to go? Carrying your children? He shook his head slowly, tears slipping down his face. I went through everything alone, she said. Every fear, every struggle, every sleepless night. The boys stood quietly, sensing the weight of the moment. Mommy? One of them whispered, tugging her hand. She squeezed it gently.
Tunde looked at them again. Really looked this time. 5 years. 5 years he had missed. Can I... He hesitated. Can I talk to them? Amara was silent for a moment. Then she nodded slightly. He stepped forward carefully, like he was afraid they might disappear. Hi, he said softly. The boys looked at each other, then back at him. Hi, one of them replied. Tunde swallowed hard. What are your names? I'm Daniel, the first one said. And I'm David, the second added. Tunde let out a shaky breath. Those are nice names. Mummy chose them, Daniel said proudly.
He nodded, his chest tightening. He paused. I'm your father. They studied him quietly. You weren't there, David said simply. The truth, spoken so plainly, hit harder than any accusation. I know, Tunde whispered. And I'm so sorry. Amara watched the scene, her emotions swirling. This was the moment she had imagined over and over again. But it didn't feel the way she thought it would. There was no victory, no satisfaction, just closure. Tunde stood up slowly and turned back to her.
Please don't shut me
I
out.
don't deserve forgiveness,
I regret
he
what
said.
happened.
She didn't respond. But I'm asking for a chance, he continued. Not for me, but for them. Amara looked at her sons, then back at him. You don't get to decide that, she said. They do. He nodded, accepting it. And me? He asked quietly. She took a deep breath. You were my home, she said. And you destroyed that. His eyes filled again. And I'm not that woman anymore, she added. Silence fell again. Then she stepped back, taking her son's hands. We didn't come here to stay, she said. Tunde's heart dropped. You're leaving? We came for the truth, she replied. Now you have it. He nodded slowly, even though it hurt. I had to build a new life from nothing, she continued. And I bid. Without you. I know, he said. Can I see them again? He asked. Amara hesitated. Then she looked at the boys. They looked back at her. And in that quiet exchange, a decision was made. We'll see, she said finally. It wasn't a yes, but it wasn't a no either. And for now, that was enough. As she turned to walk away, the rain started again, just like the night she left. But this time, she didn't feel broken. She felt free. The boys laughed as they ran ahead slightly, their voices light, untouched by the past. Amara smiled faintly. Behind her, Tunde stood still, watching them disappear into the distance. This time, he understood what he had lost, and what he might never fully get back. Sometimes, the truth comes too late, and sometimes, it comes just in time to change everything. If this story moved you even a little, take a second to like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe. Because stories like this remind us how powerful trust, truth, and second chances can be.